Hello everybody, getting ready to do part 2 of chapter 1, review and summary of 7th grade math. And on your classwork sheet you got 30 points, have that out in front of you now. Students, put your name, date, period here on your phone, your tablet, or your paper. Chapter review for chapter 1. Let's go into page 1 here, part 2. Let's go into another example here. We're going to go into section 1.2. Powers and exponents. Evaluate the power of 0.4 to the third power. So how would we do that? So 0.4 to the third power is like 0.4 times 0.4 times 0.4, right? So when we do that as a factor 3 times, you put this into your calculator, you get 0.064 is what 0.4 cubed is 0.064. So let's evaluate this power. 1.2 to the third power will be our guided, and then 0.8 to the fourth power will be your independent. Let's guided first. So 1.2 to the third power is the same thing as 1.2 times 1.2 times 1.2 equals, what does that equal? 1.728. You can do that on your calculator. And so let's go to our next section here on chapter 1, 1.3, order of operations. Evaluate the expression 800 minus 7 times quantity 2 plus 3 squared. So how will we do that? First of all, add within the parentheses. We're going to add 2 plus 3 first in here. Inside the parentheses, so we get 800 minus 7 times 5 squared. And now we're going to evaluate our power here. 5 squared is 25. So 800 minus 7 times. Okay, so moving on with that, what we have here is 800 minus 175. We multiply it out, 175. And then when we do our difference here, we come out with 625. So that would be your solution to that previous expression. So let's go into our guided practice here. Evaluate this expression here. Students, this is your down here. This is your independent. 28 divided by quantity, 5 minus 1 times 3. So to do, you have to remember to use PEMDAS. So evaluate this expression. 28 divided by quantity, 5 minus 1 times 3. So first of all, 28 divided by 5 minus 1 times 3 will equal what? Here we have 4. So 28 divided by 4 times 3. We're going to do inside parentheses first. PEMDAS is P is for parentheses. So 4 times 3. And then this will become 7 times 3. 28 divided, reading from left to right now. 28 divided by, this comes next, parentheses and division, and then multiplication, right? So 28 divided by 4 is 7 times 3. So we have 7 times 3, which equals 21. So that would be the evaluation of this expression here. So moving on to our next section here, which is 1.4, comparing and ordering integers. Graph the integers, -2, 3, 0, 2, -3, on a number line, then write the integers in order from least to greatest. So on this one, here we are. -3 is over here, so -3 is over here. -2 is here. 0 is here. 2 is here. And then +3 is over there. So here's our plot here of these integers. Then write the integers in order from least to greatest. Well, we can tell from our number line what they are from least to greatest: -3, -2, 0, 2, and 3. So the number line really helps in this part of the question here. So let's try one on our own. Graph the integers, graph these integers on a number line, then write the integers in order from least to greatest. Same thing down here for you students. Let's do our guided up here first. And there we go. This makes it a little bit bolder number line. Let's go into our guide here. Graph the integers on a number line. So here they are, -8, -12, 4, -7, and 1. So here's what they would look like. -12 is way out here, -8, and then we have this one here would be -8, -12, -7 will be right next to -8. This would be -7. And then what do we got? We got 1 here. And then we got 4 over here. So here they are in order from left to right. Now we can write them from least to greatest. We go from left to right here. So from left to right, we go -12, -8, -7, and then 1, and then 4. So -12, -8, -7, 1, and 4. So there they are. Let's go into our next section here, which is state the absolute value and the opposite of -2. So absolute value and opposite of -2. So here we are, -2. And what are we? We're 2 units. We're 2 units from the origin here. Therefore, the absolute value of -2 is 2. We're 2 units from 0. That'll give us our absolute value. And then the opposite of -2. What's the opposite of -2? So to find that, the opposite of -2 is 2, because we just go to the right of the origin instead of going to the left to get our -2. Now we go to the right and we go +2. So using a number line, we come up with the opposite of -2 would be +2. So let's go to our guided up here. State the absolute value and the opposite of -100. Same thing down here for use. Let's do our guided up here first. State the absolute value and opposite of our number, -100. So the absolute value of -100 is 100. It's 100 units from the origin. And then the opposite of -100 would be +100, because you're going into the right instead of to the left of the origin. So the opposite of -100 would be +100. And that's your lesson for today. Animated PowerPoint math video at AOL.com for questions, course materials. Thank you very much.